morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Blonde Café Podcast. I'm your host, Brooke Villanueva, and I'm here to help give you the tips, tricks, and tools to live your best life. Welcome if you are new here. I'm so freaking happy to have you, and welcome to the party. So if you don't know the Blonde Café, we're here to tell you that all of your dreams are actually possible, and you can go after them, and you can have everything you want in life. It just ebbs and flows, baby. We roll with the punches. Life happens, and we keep going. We get up, we move on, and we go one step in front of the other, okay? Even if we take 2 steps back, we're still taking 1 more step after that. So, welcome to the freaking party. Thank you guys so much for being here. And if you are watching in October 2025, happy Halloween. If you're not watching in October, happy holidays, happy whatever is nearest you, happy 4th of July, if that's your vibe. But welcome. You'll see if you're watching on camera, I have my Halloween mug. We're being very festive here. And we are actually kicking off the holiday season because November 1st is on Saturday, and if you are anything like me, like a basic girly, you are about to get out those Christmas decorations and you are literally chomping at the bit. And don't get me wrong, I love Halloween too. Like, I'm excited, we're dressing up, we're passing out candy at our house, we're dressing up as the Average Joes from the movie Dodgeball. If you haven't seen it, you gotta watch it, it's really freaking funny. But yeah, so we're having some friends over, love Halloween, love it, love it, love it. I'm also so excited for Christmas and the holidays. Thanksgiving, your girl likes to eat. I like some good food. So, and we're going to California this year for Thanksgiving. So really pumped about that. But without further ado, I have how you're going to get your life together for the holidays, because it might be looming in the back of your mind if you clicked on this video. And you're probably thinking like, A, I have to buy presents for everyone. B, how am I going to afford to travel, possibly, if you're not nearby family or whatever? You might be thinking about travel. You might be thinking about presents. You might be thinking about your great Aunt Susan that always feeds you some sort of, like, I don't even know, concept, or everyone asking you about why you're not married yet, or why you're not engaged yet, or who your new life partner is. You got a lot going on, okay? And not to mention, if you're in the world of the interweb and social media, there are so many like ads and sales, and Black Friday is no longer Black Friday. It is Cyber Monday, it is Cyber Tuesday, it is Cyber Saturday. I don't even freaking know how many sales there are. You're getting text messages, you're getting emails, you're getting literally commercials on the radio, on the TV. We are bombarded with so many things that it can make the holidays feel really freaking overwhelming. The next 2 months is probably going to be hectic at work too, because chances are you probably have some sort of deadline maybe by the end of the year, or they want to wrap something up, or maybe you're trying to make sure you get that end of year bonus, and it's overwhelming. So we're getting ahead of it. We are getting ahead, and I'm here to help you do it. So here are my really simple, really easy tips and tricks to get ahead this holiday season when it comes to finance, when it comes to planning, when it comes to travel. I got you, girl. When it comes to gifts, I got you, okay? We're going to do a gift guide too, so don't worry. All right, guys. So the first part, how to mentally prep for the holidays. You're going to rehearse this like a freaking interview, baby, because sometimes it does feel like an interview. If you're seeing either like friends and family that you haven't seen in a long time, they're gonna want to know what's going on with your life. Maybe they're doing it to be genuine. Maybe they're just nosy and they just want to know. That's okay. We're all human, okay? We're not here to judge. But chances are you're going to be getting together with loved ones that you might not always see. They're going to be asking about your life, okay? You don't want to be caught off guard about great Aunt Susan asking why you haven't found a partner yet. Or maybe she's asking about why you chose the current partner you have if they're not with you. Or maybe, they're asking about your job or your career, or if you're going to have kids. You're going to rehearse those answers. You are going to prep it like a freaking interview. You're going to be ready. You're not going to be caught off guard, especially if you've had a couple cocktails, or like, I know like some families love to drink beer on Thanksgiving. Like sometimes you drink in some wine, some tequila maybe. and you're not gonna be caught like a deer in the headlights. So you're gonna rehearse your answers and you're gonna write them down. And this is not to say like you have to put on a front for anyone. This is not to say, you can't be yourself or you can't be authentic, especially with your friends and family. This is just kind of mentally helping you out to where you have a prepped answer and you're not just fumbling around looking for the words as to why somebody asked you about your thoughts or your beliefs or your life or whatever is going on. Because chances are sometimes they will give their opinion whether or not you ask for it. So if you can prep ahead of time and already have your game plan lined out, you're eliminating half the battle. You're taking control of the situation. And you can also choose not to answer. If you say, I don't really feel like talking about that right now, then you can also have like a list of topics that maybe you can pivot to if chances are the person that is going to ask you this loves sports. You can pivot to sports. You can pivot to, I don't even know, like how good that turkey is on Thanksgiving. Or you can pivot to a funny story that happened the other day. You can change the subject. You don't have to be pinned in a corner with your Sprite, like drinking, talking, and trying to figure out what you're going to say. I got you, okay? So, number one, you're going to write down your answers to any possible things that you might be asked. And if it's uncomfortable, write it down twice, okay? Because that's where you're going to feel better. That's where you're going to feel prepared, especially if you've had a couple drinks. You're going to feel like, you know what? I got this. I'm not pinned in a corner. I don't feel vulnerable. I am tried, true, trusted. I got this. Okay, so you're going to rehearse your answers. You're going to rehearse it out loud. You're going to rehearse it in the mirror. You're going to write them down. You're going to rehearse it now, and then you're going to rehearse it the day before you go, and maybe the morning before you arrive at whatever destination you are going to, or if people are coming over. Because you can't avoid it, okay? To be honest with you, you can't avoid those awkward questions. You can dodge it. You can say, oh yeah, hold on, I'll get the door. Or I'll help you walk out, or whatever. You can avoid it and dodge it like probably maybe 3, 4, 5 times if you're really good. But eventually, if you're caught in the crossroads with someone, they are going to ask you. And if you know those people in your life, you know who it is, you know who is thinking of you, or who might just, they love to give their opinions. Everybody loves to feel important. Like I said, that's not a bad thing, but you can eliminate some of the headache and some of the confusion. Even if you don't know what the hell you're doing with your life, you can either pivot the conversation or you can be honest and say, you know what, I'm not really sure about that right now. And then you can leave it at that. However they respond back to you, you can kind of mentally prepare for what they might say and maybe even like the worst case scenario. So then you're mentally prepared for, okay, yeah, thank you for sharing that. I'm going to go, help the kids play with their Legos. You can prepare your response and your exit of that conversation, okay? So that's number one. We're tackling the emotion side of it. We're tackling that difficult family member, that difficult friend that's always going to ask you about what you're doing with your life. You're prepping. You're ready. You're prepared. It's not a stressor anymore. Next, you're going to save money before you get to Thanksgiving. You're going to start saving money for Christmas. Even if it's $10 a week, I'm serious, you guys. When I was on a very, very low budget and I was single, I was by myself in my apartment, single dog mom, I literally had a $25 a week grocery budget. I was saving still like $5, $10 a week when I could, just so I could get ahead for Christmas. At one point, I literally, for like 3 years actually, I had a $15 a person gift budget. That was my gift budget. Sometimes I went like $15 to $20, depending on what those gifts were. I was shopping at the Target dollar spot. I was shopping at Five Below. I was shopping at the Dollar Tree. And obviously, it's not about the tangible items. It's about loving on the people that you want to spend the most time with. But at the same time, it's hard to avoid that gift-giving atmosphere and that gift-giving environment. And especially if you have a big family, sometimes it can be difficult. If you're the last sibling and you're the youngest and you're maybe not quite as far ahead in life as anybody else, it can be hard. You can be just like out here struggling to make ends meet, but you still got to come up with gifts because you don't want to be the one showing up at the holidays without the gifts. And that's just from a very surface level standpoint. I'm sure your family would understand if you said, hey guys, I can't afford to buy gifts this year. But if you are like me and you maybe didn't have all the most money in the world, you love seeing them open it. You love seeing the look on their face, even if it's just like a fuzzy pair of socks and a bath bomb and a coffee mug. That's the type of gifts that I was giving at that time. But what really, really helped me, because I was living so much paycheck to paycheck, like literally every dime is accounted for, that can help if you just start to put $5 away, $10 away. And you can start to maneuver your grocery budget. If you start to look at your grocery budget maybe and say, okay, this week I'm going to get grapes because they're on sale. Or this week I'm maybe going to skip the strawberries and get a pineapple because pineapple is a little bit cheaper. Or maybe, you don't get ground beef this week and you get ground turkey or ground chicken or something like that. You can kind of ebb and flow to where, your staples that you get, maybe you just get like a slightly different version of it so you can save a couple dollars to put toward the holidays. And it might not be your favorite thing. I don't even know. I think like the Khalifa Farms brand, not my favorite. But sometimes like in those instances, you get the Khalifa Farms just because you want to save some dollars so you can buy those gifts for the holidays. So if that's like you, you're going to start saving. I know I can handle the holidays financially, but I would like to be a little less stressed. Start saving. If you can save $25 a week, if you can save $10 a week, or $25 a month even. It is November. The more you save now, the better off you're going to be at the end of December. And if you do see something that's on sale, buy it. If you know you're already going to get it for that person and you see it's on sale, buy it. Just do it. Get it out of the way. Start making your list. Start checking it down. So the earlier, the better. That's why I'm recording this video for you now. You're getting ahead. You're saving $5, $10. You're looking for those sales. You're strategizing. You're also getting specific ideas of what people want. So maybe you're not guessing. And sometimes, people have some lofty ideas. Like it's your niece and she wants a Polaroid camera and you can't really get the camera, but maybe you can get like a gift card toward the camera, or if you get like photos for the camera, or you do it as like a combined birthday gift, whatever that looks like to you, if you can try to maneuver it that way. Same goes for also when you prep meals for the holidays. Sometimes that can be expensive. If you're like, okay, yeah, I'm taking over the mashed potatoes and I'll also take the sweet potato casserole, or I'll also take the green beans or whatever, sometimes that can get pricey. So if you're responsible for contributing something to the holiday meal, maybe choose something that's going to be a little bit more financially in your comfort zone. And allow the other people, if they've got the finance to do it, like if they want to get the turkey going, they can get the turkey going. Maybe that's where you're like, okay, yeah, I'm going to bring rolls and muffins because you know that you can make those muffins for like $3 or something. And you can get the rolls for like $5, $6. So you can kind of ebb and flow and really strategically plan it out. You don't have to put yourself in a hard spot, okay? Sometimes you can't change the finances, and that's okay, but you can get ahead of it. You can start now. You can start small. Start with $5 a week. If that's what you can do, do it. If you can do $20 a week, do it. If you see something on sale, do it. So when you're listening to the radio or you're hearing those ads or you're on Instagram this weekend and you see something's on sale and you know your sister wants a new pair of leggings and you see them for $35 instead of $70, grab them. Go get them, okay? So that's number 2. Number 3, how to keep it fun and feel good. This is where I said before, you're going to set those emotional boundaries. You are going to say, these are the questions that I'm going to answer. This is how I'm going to answer them. If I don't want to answer them, I will accept that that person might be a little frustrated, might be a little upset, but I'm going to exit that conversation. And sometimes you might be thinking like, that conversation is with my mom. I can't get away from my mom. Like, she's just going to keep prying and prying and prying. And that's where you can give, if you want to give generic answers, you can give generic answers, okay? But you can also mentally prepare yourself for what she might say to those answers. So you're setting those emotional boundaries, okay? You're setting those financial boundaries. So you're determining ahead of time how much you're going to spend per person. You're going to write down every single person that you need to buy for on your list. And maybe this time you also can suggest doing like a gift exchange, for example. Like my family has gotten quite large over the last few years. A couple years ago, we decided to do a gift exchange because it was getting to be quite a lot by, buying for the kids, buying for your siblings, buying for their spouses, buying for your other sides of the family. It gets to be a lot. So if you just write down, maybe you can suggest a gift exchange and write down, the people that you absolutely want to buy for or that you feel the need to buy for. You write it down, you get ahead of it, you divvy out your overall budget between each person. And, maybe it's a little bit extra for your parents because you want to treat them a little better. Like you want to spoil them a little bit. Or maybe it's a little bit different for your niece because you know that she loves fuzzy socks, bath bombs, and Stanley Cups. Or maybe it's a little different for your nephew because you know he's really into basketball this year. So you're already pre-planning and you're writing them down and saying, this is probably what I'm going to look for. So you're setting that financial boundary, you're setting that financial goal, you're setting aside $5, $10, $25, whatever that looks like every single week to have that little bank in the back of your head of okay, I know I'm saving this money. I know I can purchase things as they come up and as I want to. Or if you want to take a whole day, say you have a Saturday off work and you want to take a whole day and just go knock out every single person, you can do it that way too. And you have that money saved up already ready to go. That can change with maybe you don't go to the coffee shop 3 times a week and maybe you only go twice a week and you save that extra $5. Or maybe you pack your lunch instead of ordering out when the team orders out. Okay. Next, you gotta romanticize in the moment what you're gonna do. So if you have certain things this holiday season that you're I just really want to bake cookies with my grandma, make it a priority to bake cookies with your grandma. Call up grandma, ask her when she wants to bake them, maybe say, hey, we don't have to make the homemade ones if she's feeling a little tired. Maybe you say, we can just do the break and bake. It's just the experience of being with that person. Or maybe get ahead, and if you know a certain person has a really busy schedule, but you really want to see that family member or you really want to see that friend, maybe you get ahead and say, hey, if you can't get together when the whole family gets together, when can we do it separately? Can we just even go out for a 30-minute coffee or something? You're going to prioritize those time with your loved ones, and you're going to get ahead of it because everybody is going to get busy. Everybody's going to be a little frazzled. Everybody's going to be a little bit on edge. So you want to get ahead. You want to prioritize who you want to spend the time with. Also, you can prioritize romanticizing in your day-to-day life. So, if you want to put up those Christmas decorations early, this is your permission slip. I'm giving you the rights to put up your Christmas decorations on November 1st because your girl is doing it too. If you're watching on YouTube, you're going to see a little Christmas tree. You're going to see some little something, something. So put up your Christmas decorations if that makes you happy. Maybe, your husband, but whatever, you can negotiate. Maybe they don't go up November 1st. Maybe they go up November 15th. But whatever that looks like to you, you're going to romanticize it. You're going to write down all of the Christmas movies that you really want to watch. And I'm talking nostalgia from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation to Elf or The Grinch or Polar Express or whatever your favorite Christmas movies are. You're going to write them down and you're going to plan to watch every single one of those in this holiday season. Because we are enjoying life, baby. We are having the best freaking time that we can. Even if you don't have the most money to go out and do the holiday experiences. I know they'll have certain light displays and those can cost money, like $20 or something. Or they'll have certain Christmas plays or Christmas shows, and those can be a little pricey. So even if you decide that you don't have the budget to do those things, you can still romanticize your time at home and start to plan ahead. Okay, yeah, I do want to make it, even though I can't go to that Christmas play that I love going to at the local theater, I'm going to sit down and watch 2 Christmas movies right in a row, bake cookies, make hot chocolate, wear my favorite cozy, fuzzy PJs, and I'm going to romanticize the hell out of it, even if I can't go do the financially expensive thing that I want to do. Or if you do have some activities that do cost money, you can also say, hey, okay, I'm going to prioritize spending money for this. And then maybe I don't eat out that week. And maybe I say, okay, now I've got my gift budget set. I've got my Christmas experience budget set. So if it's ice skating, if it's going to a light show, if it's going to like our local amusement park, we just purchased tickets. So I purchased those tickets ahead of time. And sometimes you can call them, and like if it is like a bigger organization, like I know sometimes like local zoos will do it, or local botanical gardens, things like that, or like local aquariums will have something. Sometimes you can call ahead and say, hey, are you guys going to be doing any promotions this season? Like, is there a certain time that I should buy my tickets? And hopefully the person you get on the phone is reasonable, and they will tell you, oh yeah, the tickets are going to go on sale on the 12th, but honey, you might want to wait until the 15th because they're actually going to go on a flash sale for like 24 hours. So a lot of times, like, they will help you out and they will tell you when they're going to be doing deals if they know it ahead of time, if they're not gatekeeping. Sometimes they'll be gatekeeping and be like, yeah, buy your tickets now because they're trying to get money. But a lot of times they will help you out and they will tell you. But so maybe you set aside your finances for that if you do want to do those like outside of the house, a little bit more pricey experiences. We're starting November 1st. We are getting our act together for the holidays, okay? So thank you guys so much for joining. I hope you take this advice. I hope, you set those emotional boundaries with your great Uncle Joe. I hope you set those emotional boundaries with, whoever is asking you random questions about your life that you really don't feel like answering because you don't know what you're doing with your job, or you don't know what you're doing with your significant other, or when you're going to have kids, or if you want kids, or whatever. You're going to prepare and you're going to have those questions and those answers ready to go. You are going to build up that confidence, exit the conversation when you need to. If you can't physically exit the conversation, figure out your responses and say, okay, this is what I'm going to be prepared for them to say back. And just kind of have that mentally in your head. And sometimes it might surprise you. Great Aunt Melissa has had a revelation this year, and she doesn't want to ask you about your life. And I'm just saying this, like, I do not have a great Aunt Melissa. I don't have a great Aunt Susan. I don't have a great Uncle Bill or whoever I said. I'm just saying this in general because a lot of times it can be those extended family members that you don't see often and talk to all the time that can stress people out sometimes. And other times it might be your parents, and you got to prepare to answer to your parents about why you quit your job or why you decided to break up with your boyfriend. Sometimes you get in those situations, especially if you're going to have a couple drinks, you want to be prepared, okay? So we're getting prepared. Next, we are getting financially prepared. So you're saving $5, $10, $25 a week. If you can do it by the day, do it by the day. If that's easier, there's also apps that you can use to round up your money. Like Capital with a Q is a good app to where you can literally attach it to your bank account and it can round up your money. It'll take that 25 cents and it'll put it into a separate account. So it kind of like quietly stacks your money, and I actually really like using that. I used that all the time when I was like penny pinching down to the dollar. That was like my saving grace for savings, because in your head, you're already thinking like, okay, yeah, I pretty much spent $7 on that McDonald's or whatever. So then you're saving money without even thinking about it. And even if it's like $25 saved up on the side, that can still help. That's still, somebody's Christmas gift or part of somebody's Christmas gift. So you're getting ahead, you're deciding who you need to buy for, you are asking if people want to do a gift exchange, if that aligns better. Maybe it aligns better for them too, but they're just too nervous to ask. You are getting ahead on your actual Christmas or holiday activities that you want to do. You can also choose to bring a less expensive item to the holiday gathering. If you're supposed to be responsible for bringing something, you can bring the rolls, you can bring the $3 muffins that you get and you make at the grocery. You can bring a little bit of the less expensive items this year. Call dibs early, baby. Call dibs early because other people might not. You can do it. You can start to sit down, strategize, plan it out, romanticize it, make some coffee at home, make some hot chocolate at home, write down what you're going to do. We are getting ahead, and we are not going to be stressed this holiday season. We are going to enjoy it. We are going to have a freaking blast because we are all about here living your dream life at the Blonde Café. So thank you guys so much for listening. If you're watching on YouTube, please like, subscribe, comment, all the above. If you're watching or listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, thank you for listening. Please leave us a rating. And if you want to connect more, head over to Instagram and TikTok. I post on Instagram daily, so you can connect with me, drop me a line, slide in my DMs, let me know what you want to hear next, let me know if this helps you, and I can't wait to talk to you guys soon. Bye guys!